Sai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gora Hari Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Thank you once again, dear Vaishnavas, for kindly being present here for the final session. I am very thankful to His Holiness Sacinandana Swami Maharaj and to His Grace Gaurang Darshan Prabhu for kindly not only organizing the seminars but also giving such wonderful talks at the seminars. And my sincere thanks to all the wonderful devotees who organized everything here at the Govardhan Retreat Center. Sincere thanks to Sri Burijan Prabhu, Jagatarini Mataji, Prashanta Mataji, all the wonderful devotees who are serving here, and thank you all of you wonderful devotees for kindly being present here, especially the senior disciples of Srila Prabhupada. We will begin with Mangalacharan, auspicious invocations. Most of us know these verses. You can kindly sing along with me. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupah Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namah. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrashabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Welcome once again, dear Vaishnavas, to this final part of the presentation. As the difficulty of thinking of whether they are truly qualified or not. And this difficulty is always also present with me. Therefore, I will admit honestly what I think about myself. Here is a verse which specifies what sort of a speaker you are getting today. Please repeat after me. Yatha bindu paya sindho Yatha kacho mani vraje Yatha rahuscha deveshu Tathaham bhakta sanjaye Yatha bindu paya sindhau. Just as A drop of water pretends to be milk in the milk ocean. Dear devotees, once the drop of water mixes in the milk ocean, can you find out where the water is and where the milk is? No. Yatha kacho mani vraje. Just as a shard of glass pretends to be a gem in a cluster of gems. And dear devotees, please tell me which one of these is glass and which one of these are gems. Please tell me. Is it possible? No. Yatha rahuscha deveshu. Just as Rahu pretends to be a god in the assembly of gods. You can't find out. Tatha aham bhakta sanchay. Similarly, I pretend to be a devotee among all of you. That is the qualification of the speaker. Kukavi. But still, I will speak something today. I will take the bold step of speaking something because I have the faith. Yokshe tathapi madvani Shri Krishnasya varnane Yad anuktam duruktam cha Kshantavyam atra tadbudhai Yokshe tathapi madvanim. Still I will engage my speech. Engage my speech in what? Shri Krishnasya anuvarnane. In repeatedly describing Shri Shri Radha Krishna. Yad anuktam duruktam cha. Whatever is missed out, anuktam or duruktam, whatever is spoken incorrectly by me in these presentations, kshantavyam atra tadbudhai. Kindly forgive me, dear devotees, with folded hands. I request forgiveness if anything was missed out or anything was spoken incorrectly. I have come here for the purification of my speech, and this is the aim of the series of presentations. Shri Rupa Vak Prasangena Madvak Shuddhi Bhavishyati Ganga Pravaha Yogena Puti Gandhyudakam Yatha. Shri Rupa Vak Prasangena. I have hoped that by coming in contact with the words of Srila Rupa Goswami, Madvak, my words, Shuddhi Bhavishyati, will certainly attain purity. Just as Ganga Pravaha Yogena Puti Gandhi Udakam Yatha, just as a tiny stream of putrid sewer water attains purity in contact with the powerful flow of the Ganga. So with this hope in my mind, I am trying to present this series of talks. Thank you so much for kindly being present here all these days. Hare Krishna Maharaj. As I said, all these verses that we relished were not for our pleasure or our unhappiness. They are supposed to be dedicated to somebody, and most of us remember whom we are supposed to dedicate the happiness to. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And if we feel any distress, we should use it in feeling like-minded towards him. And therefore, once again, keeping the main mood of the series of presentations in front of us, let's repeat once again. Yadatra svaditam saukhyam tachaitanyarpanam kuru Dukham tasyartha chittasya Santvanaya prayujyatam.
Whatever happiness was experienced by you here, kindly offer to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Any distress experienced by you should be employed for the purpose of empathizing with him and consoling his distressed heart.
In this current body, we cannot directly approach Sri Sri Radha Krishna, because this current body is called sadhak deha, or a practitioner's body. In this body, it is possible to approach Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through the Guru Parampara. The service of Sri Sri Radha Krishna is truly possible for those who have a perfected body, also known as Siddha Deha. But for those who have a Sadhaka Deha, a practitioner's body, it is possible to approach Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So since I am here in a Sadhaka Deha, in a practitioner's body, my only hope of rendering seva to Sri Sri Radha Krishna is to render service to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the via medium through whom I have some hope of rendering seva to Sri Sri Radha Krishna. Otherwise, it is not possible for me in this current body. And Sri Rupa Goswami has established it, and we have seen in the previous talks, that hearing this leela faithfully, not with the purpose of self-enjoyment, but with the purpose of giving some pleasure to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the only way to cleanse our heart from the most difficult enemy, and the name of the most difficult enemy is Kam. This is the only solution that is possible. We have seen the extremities of Bhoga previously, and we also saw the extremities of Tyaga. Hare Krishna. We saw both extremes, and therefore Sri Rupa Goswami recommended the middle path. Srimad Bhagavatam also specifies that Vikriditam Vrajavadhu Bhiridam Chavishno Shraddhan Vitanu Shunuyad Atha Varnayedyah Bhaktim Param Bhagavati Pratilabhya Kamam Radrogamashvapahinotyya Chirena Dhira. At the end of the 5 chapters on Rasa Leela, Sri Shukadeva Goswami himself says that anybody who faithfully listens to these pastimes will truly conquer lust. Sometimes we are told you conquer lust first and then listen to these pastimes. Sri Shukadeva Goswami says you faithfully listen to the pastimes and you will automatically conquer lust. So I always had this query in my mind, what comes first? Because many devotees would say, first conquer lust, then listen. Or what do you, first deserve, then desire. And Sri Shukadeva Goswami says at the end of the Ras Leela, hear faithfully and you will deserve. So this is the Siddhanta. Let's not put the cart in front of the horse. The only remedy is to hear faithfully the pastimes, qualities, name and form of Sri Sri Radha Krishna from authorized sources such as Srila Rupa Goswami and the 6 Goswamis. Sri Rupa Goswami says, a surprising transformation can happen when we do that. Here's a verse in the meter, Shardula Vikriditam, same as Shad Goswami Ashtakam. This verse is from the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. I'll sing it, kindly repeat after me. Pandityam Radahindakadvanigato Ya Kama Diksha Vrate Kurvan Purvamashesha Shidganagari Samrajya Charyamabhu Chitram Zoyam Udirayan Hariguణanodbashpadrashtirjano Drashte Strivadane Vikurnitamukho Vishtabhyanishthivati Sri Rupa Goswami says, Pandityam, there was once a certain individual who had acquired Panditya. Can anybody tell me what is Panditya? Very huge amount of learnedness, huge amount of knowledge. In which department? Rata Hindaka Dhvani, in all departments of Kamadev. Dear devotees. There was somebody who had attained expertise in all varieties of lust. Forget about that. Yah Kama Diksha Vrati. He had taken Diksha from Kamadev. Did you Yah Kama Diksha Vrati. He had a firm vow. I will live up to all the textbooks of Kam Shastra. I will make my life successful in this way. Kurvan Purvam Ashesha Shidganagari Samrajya Charyama Bhut. And he was roaming like a free libertine king in the vast kingdom of Kamadev. You can see him, dear devotees. You can see how Kam burns, in the background. Chitram, how amazing. That same person. Soya mudirayan harigunan. Now that person, while uttering loving, delightful qualities of Hari, Udbashpadrishtir jano, that same person now cries. His throat chokes up. Drishte Sri Vadane, and whenever he happens to see the face of any attractive member of the opposite gender, Vikurnita Mukho, he remembers his past, which was not so good. And his mouth curls in distaste. But how did this transformation happen? Did it happen by beating himself with vairagya, or did it happen by listening to proper Harikatha? Proper Harikatha. So that is the solution, as mentioned by Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. Prabhu, kindly read the translation.
He was initiated into the ways of lust. He roamed around freely within the vast unrestrained kingdom of lascivious, lustful desires. How amazing! While singing the glories of Lord Hari, that same person now exhibits tears in his eyes, and as soon as he sees an attractive woman, he feels repulsed while remembering his previous unwholesome desires.
So this is Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Srila Rupa Goswami mentions an example of one such individual. Sri Rupa Goswami is always willing to accept the fact that an ati kami, and how will we translate ati kami? Very lustful person, can easily become a devotee of Bhagavan if given proper training. Examples are verses like this. But if we ask Srila Rupa Goswami about ati tyagi, Sri Rupa Goswami hesitates. Says, I am a little afraid of bringing the ati tyagi, the over-renunciate, into the domain of bhakti. Srila Jiva Goswami, in his commentary to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Eastern Division, second wave, verse 254, says, please repeat after me. Bhakti pravishtasya vairagyam chitta kaఠిన్య hetutaya heyatvena uktam. So bhakti pravishtasya, for a person who has entered into bhakti, vairagyam, the over cultivation of renunciation, chitta kaఠిన్య hetutaya heyatven uktam, is to be rejected because of one reason. And what is the reason, dear devotees? Because it hardens the heart. A similar warning is not given about the ati kami, but a warning is given about the ati vairagi. Because what a vairagi is thinking is, and this has nothing to do with the color of the cloth, as I have said previously. There may be a rasik devotee within saffron color, and there may be a completely dry-hearted individual sitting in white color. So this has nothing to do with the color of the cloth, but a person who is ati vairagi in their mind, their thought process is, I should first scrape my heart with the sandpaper of vairagya, renunciation. And when I scrape my heart like this with vairagya, then lust will finally be driven away. But there is something that happens when you start scraping something with a sandpaper. Gradually, does that particular thing increase in size or decrease in size? Decrease in size. So if they keep scraping their heart with the sandpaper of Vairagya, one fine day they will lose their heart. And this heart was the container which was required to receive Bhakti Ras. And after losing that container, it is no longer possible for them to relish that Bhakti Ras, which will be bestowed by Bhagavan in the future. And therefore the importance of understanding this instruction of not cultivating Ati Vairagya. Putting Bhakti first, Vairagya later. In the 64 limbs of Bhakti, Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada did not include Vairagya, cultivation of Vairagya, as one of those 64 limbs. You can see the 64 limbs of Bhakti, and cultivation of Vairagya is not one of those limbs. Srila Rupa Goswami could have easily added it as one of the 64 limbs. And if you ask many devotees, they would say, yeah, it would be so nice if Sri Rupa Goswami would have added that. But Sri Rupa Goswami says, one of the limbs is, please repeat after me, Yavat Arthanuvartita. Yavad Arthanuvartita, accepting as many material facilities as needed to keep the body, to sustain the body, and to keep oneself in a positive frame of mind. And when somebody says, please give us a fixed standard, I say, I cannot give a fixed standard for everybody. Why? Because one man's medicine is another man's poison. Therefore, every individual in consultation with their Gurujanas should understand what is neither too much nor too less for them. And that is why Sri Rupa Goswami says, one of the 64 limbs of Bhakti is Yavad Artha Anuvartita. Accept as many facilities as you need to keep your body nicely and to keep a positive mood on this path. So anyways, the purpose is to dive back again into the Padyavali. Alright? Huh? We saw yesterday how Sri Krishna was playing the flute in his childhood, and the elderly gopis used to come and play some jokes with him. Now, dear devotees, that same skill he perfected in his adolescence, in his youth, and when he used to play the flute in his youth, he used to play it in a very soft tone and many notes, but the primary note was the fifth note. Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa. Pa is the fifth note. And every note in the scale denotes a particular bird or animal. And the fifth note denotes the cuckoo, the crying out of the cuckoo, as if calling out to a lover. And therefore, when he would play his flute with the prominent fifth note, it would immediately attract the heart of his most beloved devotees, the maidens of Sri Vrindavan. In the Padyavali, there is a wonderful verse that Sri Rupa Goswami compiles. This verse was originally composed by a devotee named Sri Govinda Bhatt, and Sri Rupa Goswami compiled it in the Padyavali. This verse is in the meter Shardula Vikriditam, same as Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Can we sing together, dear devotees? Okay. Let's sing together. Satyam jalpasi dussaha khalagira, Satyam kulam nirmalam, Satyam nishkarunopyayam sahachara, Satyam sudure sare, Tatsarvam sakhi vismarami jhatiti, Shrotratithir jayate, Chedunmada mukunda manju murali, Nisvana ragodgati. So, on a particular evening, Sri Krishna started playing the flute again, and as he was playing, it gradually became dark at night. And Sri Radha was eagerly waiting that everybody in the home will sleep, and when everybody will go to sleep, she will quietly escape. In Srila Rupa Goswami's language, she is known as Abhisarika Radha. Abhisarika is Sri Radha who heads out to meet Sri Krishna. In traditional Sanskrit literature, that is those literature which are part of the material world, Abhisarika is a lady who heads out on the no moon night wearing dark colored clothes so that she cannot be seen, and she wants to meet her lover in the middle of the night. In all such literature, it is the lady who has to head out of the home to meet her beloved. Only in Krishna leela, often it happens that Krishna also performs Abhisar. That is, Krishna also has to head out in the middle of the night sometimes to meet her. There are many verses like that. Today I will not be able to show. There is a verse where at one point of time he sat outside her home and called out like a cuckoo. Some of you might have heard that verse, but if you have not heard that, it's a very sweet verse. And he experienced many failures in his attempt to gain love. But on this day, she wants to be the Abhisarika. She wants to be the one to go and meet Sri Krishna. And when she hears her Sakhis, Lalita and Vishaka, they come around her. Gradually, everybody is going to sleep. And then she says, Satyam jalpasi dussaha khalagiram satyam jalpasi. You are speaking the truth, O Lalita. If anybody wakes up, they will give me very harsh words for leaving the home at night. It is very difficult to tolerate the words of society which is based on principles of morality. Satyam suduram sare, satyam kulam nirmalam. It is also true that my kulam, my family, nirmalam, is spotless. Nobody in this family has a history of falling in love outside of marriage. Perhaps I am the first one. Satyam nishkarunopyayam. It is also a fact that this person is merciless. It is a fact that he is very merciless. Sahachara satyam sudure saret. It is also a fact that the Yamuna is far away. He could have come near my home and played the flute, but you know how crooked he is. He always plays the flute on the banks of the Yamuna. Tat sarvam sakhi vismarami. And all of that, O Sakhi, all of these obstacles I forget. Jatiti, immediately. And when do I forget? Shrotra tithir jayate. When a particular sound becomes a guest within the auditorium of my ears. And what is that sound? There's a long samas, long term in the last line. Chedunmada mukunda manju murali nisvana ragodgati. Ched, unmada mukunda manju murali nisvana ragodgati. When you translate it, I told you have to go from right to left. When something becomes a guest within my ears, what becomes a guest? Rag udgati. When that sweet raga, when that sweet fifth note, nisvan, playing very rhythmically, very nicely, coming out of the murali. And which murali? Manju murali, that delightful murali. And that murali belongs to whom, dear devotees? Mukunda. So when that fifth note coming out from the sweet murali of Mukunda becomes a guest within the home of my ears, at that point of time I forget everything. Kindly read, Prabhu.
Sakhi, you speak the truth. It is true that the harsh rebukes of my superiors are very hard to bear. It's true that my family's reputation is spotless. It is true that this friend, Krishna, is merciless. It is true that the Yamuna is very far away. Still, when the beautiful, intoxicating sounds emanating from his flute become a guest in my ears, I immediately forget all of this.
In the middle of the night, when he glows like a host of many blue lotus flowers. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj. Pranwala Prabhu. Let's read once again.
Saki, you speak the truth. It is true that the harsh rebukes of my superiors are very hard to bear. It is true that my family's reputation is spotless. It is true that this friend, Krishna, is merciless. It is true that the Yamuna is very far away. Still, when the beautiful, intoxicating sounds emanating from his flute become a guest in my ears, I immediately forget all of this.
So, dear devotees, in the middle of the night, on the banks of the Yamuna, this particular person, after having taken a bath, he comes out in the middle of the night under the full moon, and with the droplets of the Yamuna decorating his body, he ties his hair, puts a peacock feather, and plays his flute and glows like a host of radiant blue lotuses. Can you see that person, dear devotees, within your heart? If not, look at the screen. And the acharyas have given many warnings. Don't stare at him for long. He can easily catch you through the sense of vision. He can easily catch you through the sense of hearing. He can easily catch you through his fragrance and the sense of nose. And each and every one of these senses is like he can place a hook on it and catch people like mercilessly, like hunters catch fishes. And this person catches people by all their senses at once. So be very careful, because once you get caught in this, there's only going crazy, all right? So it's my duty to give you a warning in advance. Don't blame me later. I was just presenting Srila Rupa Goswami, all right? Don't blame me later. Of course, not only was she attracted, but all the other wonderful gopis of Sri Vrindavan were also attracted. And this person knew that they are all attracted. Of course, he was laying a big trap. The entire forest was there to set traps, and he had laid traps in the correct places. And all of them were attracted, and they came in the middle of the night. And when they came near him, he knew that they were standing near him. He closed his eyes as if he has not noticed anybody, and continued to play the flute. At this point of time, they wanted him to stop playing the flute, but he's not stopping. He'll make them wait for at least half an hour before he opens his eyes. After some time, the gopis are a little jealous of the flute. The very nice verse composed by the devotee commentator Sri Harisuri in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. I have rarely seen such a wonderful verse and wonderful poetry. This verse is in the same meter, Shardula Vikriditam. Let's sing together, dear devotees. Saudham dhama mukhambujam bhagavato वक्त्रासवप्राशनम् शय्याचाधर पल्लवोऽथ मृदुला गोष्ठस्तदुच्छीर्षकम् अङ्गुल्यस्तव सेवने निरलसा ब्रूमः किमन्यत् सुखम् हा हा वैरिणिः तथापि मुरली त्वां नैति निद्रापि किम्. So the gopis are looking at the flute, and a few of them say, Saudham dhama mukhambujam, O flute, you are most fortunate. Why? Saudham dhama mukhambujam. You needed a place to stay, you needed a home, and you got the best home in the world. And what is your home? Mukhambujam, his face, lotus-like face. Saudham dhama, which is an abode of all beauty and all nectar. That is your home. Bhagavato vaktrasava prashanam. And after getting a home, you also need to eat something. So you also got something very wonderful to eat. And what did you get to eat? Vaktra asava, the nectar coming out from his lower lip. It is your constant food 24 hours a day. So after a home and after getting something nice to eat, what do we do after eating nicely? Sleep. Shayya, your bed. Chadhar pallavo, his lower lip is your bed. His lower lip is your bed. Tamridulangushtastaduchirshakam. Some people get a bed with a pillow for the head. You got that? His lower lip. Some fortunate people also get a pillow for the feet. You also got that. Because you also have a pillow for your feet. And what is that pillow? His thumbs, on the other hand, are the pillows that you got for your feet. Now, what more do you want? Oh, of course. Angulyastava sevane niralasa. In Sanskrit, the term anguli means finger. And anguli is feminine gender. So these angulis, these fingers, these ladies are constantly pressing your feet while you lie down. Brumah kimanyat sukham. Tell me, what more happiness do you need? Ha ha vairini. Oh enemy. Hey tathapi murali. Oh flute. After all these comforts, tvam naiti nidrapi kim. Why don't you finally go to sleep? Wow. So you can understand a Rasik by the way he composes poetry. You can understand that this person is neither an Atikami nor is he an Atityagi. Is that perfect balance? Na nirvinno, na atisakto, bhakti yogo asya siddhida. Here is the translation, Pranwalla Prabhu.
Oh, really?
For your residence, you have lotus-like face of Krishna. For your drinking, you have his lip nectar, his lower lip as your resting bed. His soft thumbs are your raised pillows. Various fingers are engaged in pressing your feet. What greater happiness can there be? Alas, O flute, despite all these comforts, why don't you ever go to sleep?
So there are many verses like these. This is not the only verse that he composes expressing the jealousy of the gopis on seeing the flute. There are many verses like these which he composed on the Vrindavan pastimes of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. He composed around 4,650 verses like these and named his literature Bhakti Rasayanam, which is the tonic of bhakti, the Ayurvedic tonic of bhakti. and this tonic is supposed to be drunk through the ears. And after drinking this tonic, he promises, I'll intoxicate you enough that you will end up on the other side of the material world. But very difficult verses, some of them. So he makes you work hard for it. He doesn't make it an easy ride. In this way, there would be many confidential pastimes here in Vrindavan, in Govardhan. When Krishna was younger, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, they would celebrate Holi every year, and the boys would celebrate with the boys, and the gopis would celebrate with the gopis. But suddenly, when they were 9 years old, suddenly a feeling of rivalry developed between both groups. And you can see here in the background, today we have a particular leela. Which leela is that? Holi leela. And yesterday was Nauka, boat pastimes. So today is Holi leela, and of course, how can there not be some description of Holi leela? In the Gopal Champu, Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhupada mentions how when Krishna Balram were 9 years of age and the gopis were also around that same age, during the time of Holi, because Shivratri will just be in a few days, Phalgun Krishna Chaturdashi, and after Shivratri, after a few days, there is Phalgun Purnima. And Phalgun Purnima this year will be 3rd, 4th of March. So that day is Holi. So when Phalgun Purnima arrived and Sri Krishna was 9 years of age, suddenly the boys got together and decided, all the gopas got together and decided, this year we'll take good revenge from the gopis. We'll teach them a very good lesson. Of course, they were not knowing that similar planning is going on in the other camp. See, some of Krishna's friends are very faithful, and some friends are also faithful, but they sometimes leak some information accidentally. So, somehow or other, information reached Srimati Radharani that the Gopas are planning to teach us a good lesson this time on Holi. So she said, all right, we know how to give a proper fitting reply to such people. So they also started preparing, and there many varieties of color were collected. Sri Krishna's group also, when the day of Holi, they also got together, collected many varieties. They got together in Chakra Vyuh, that is what, it says. They got together in a circular arrangement, and they were discussing what to do, how will we attack the gopis. And then suddenly somebody came and informed them that they are also planning a similar attack on us. So suddenly there is nervousness on both sides. Sri Radha and the Sakhis said, what should we do? And here Sri Krishna and the Sakhas are also thinking, what should we do? We should know the plan of the other side. So Sri Radha, she said, what we'll do is we'll send an elderly gopi. And that gopi will pretend to be a neutral party and say that, I have come in peace. Everybody should be on friendly terms. So I've just come in peace, and I have come here to tell you that there is no real enmity between gopis and yourself. So, let's be good friends. So an elderly gopi was sent. Sri Jiva Goswami describes in Gopal Champu, elderly gopi was sent. And when this gopi came, she started her Shanti Prastav, her message of peace. And when she started narrating her message of peace, Krishna and Madhumangal, they said that this old lady, she looks suspicious. Maybe she is genuine, maybe she is not genuine. Let's just capture her and keep her here. Because if she is genuine, then we have nothing to worry. But if she is not genuine, she will go back and convey our secrets. So let's capture her and keep her here. So they captured her. So Sri Radha and the gopis are waiting and nobody is coming back. On the other side, Sri Krishna sent Madhu Mangal as peacekeeper from his side. So when Madhu Mangal came to the other side, say, I come in peace. You know, those boys, they always make fun of my eating habits. And truly I feel like-minded to your group, O Sri Radha. Lalita Vishaka, they understood. Our messenger has not returned. And the messenger from the enemy side has come. So Lalita Vishaka told her, they have captured our messenger. Better capture him. So they captured him. And all the gopis, Lalita on one side, pulled he was wearing this utariya, upper cloth. She pulled the upper cloth and said all the gopis dress him like a lady. So they dressed him like a lady and they painted half his face black and put a round circle, black round circle around one of his. So this was... These pastimes are described in two books. One is the Gopal Champu of Srila Jiva Goswami and another is Madhukeli Valli of Sri Govardhan Bhatt Goswami. These are two books in which this pastime of Holi is described. So I'm just telling the authentic sources of these pastimes. So in this way, they captivated him, they captured him. And here Sri Krishna, he also told all his friends, call some elderly gopis from nearby and tell them to change the clothes of this gopi and dress her up in masculine clothes. So they dressed her up in dhoti and some utariya, and they put funny color, they put a mustache around her like this. So finally both parties were ready for a final showdown. On the holy day, not H-O-L-Y, H-O-L-I, on the holy day, so they came near each other. And dear devotee, Sri Jiva Goswami says there was big time quarrel between both parties. So as both parties approached each other, Sri Radha said to Sri Krishna that we have a very beautiful gopi, but she is not able to find a suitable husband. Can you find a suitable husband for her? And they presented Madhu Mangal with half black face and one round circle around the edge. Shri Krishna said, yes, I have the perfect match for him. And so in Hindi we say jhagda, jhagda. What is jhagda? Quarrel, lots of quarrel, lots of quarrel. Vrindavan means lots of quarrel. Lots of quarrel. See, this is something he used to miss terribly in Dwarka. Because nobody dares to quarrel with Bada Maharaj. In Dwarka. He used to miss terribly. If he wants to quarrel with somebody, there is nobody to quarrel with. Even if he raises his voice, yes, I'm sorry, Maharaj. Please don't chop my head off. He used to terribly miss these things of Sri Vrindavan. Because in the heart of his hearts, he is a cowherd. And you have put a cowherd in the role of a king, and he is a complete misfit for that particular role. And we saw a short glimpse of that in the morning talk by Gaurang Darshan Prabhu. How? Although he is a cowherd at heart, he is being forced into a role where he has to play the king. And the Bhagavatam describes after one point of time, he gave up the kingdom and Maharaj Ugrasen was ruling. He said, I'm no longer interested in ruling this particular kingdom. Maharaj Ugrasen used to rule. And that's the reason why Padmavati got a little nervous, because although Maharaj Ugrasen is the official ruler, Maharaj Ugrasen is only ruling by the mercy of Sri Krishna. So if Sri Krishna decides to give everything to the Vrajavasis, Maharaj Ugrasen will have to become a servant of the cowherds. And this was the great hesitation of fear of Padma. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada calls Padma Niti. Padma Niti is the logic of Padma. That in exchange for devotional service, I want Dhanam, Janam, Sundarim. I want some money. I want some followers. So that he called Padma Niti, the logic of Padma. Anyways, so there was lots of quarreling in Sri Vrindavan, and Sri Jiva Goswami says, there is no Holi without Gali. Alright? Here is a verse by Srila Jiva Goswami. The meter is Vasanta Tilakam, same as Brahma Samhita. Narmanga Gali Rudaka Kshipa Yantra Yukti Dandi Prabhadana Nivardana Geli Riti Kantakriti Vyatikrita Grahanam Sakhina Sahayakam Yudhi Babhau Hari Horikaya Narmanga Gali. The first thing that was exchanged was Gali. Because no Holi without Gali. And what is Gali, dear devotees? Loving abusive words. Now I am not going to specify those words here. Because then this will be the first class in ISKCON history where galis were given from the Vyasasana. I don't want to be the first one to give a gali from the Vyasasana. Narmanga gali. Gali is Narma Anga. Narma Anga is Anga, the most important part of Narma, loving relationship. You only give a gali to somebody whom you love. To all others, you do formality. Hare Krishna Prabhu, how are you? Is everything okay? Huh? But galis are reserved only for those individuals whom you love very much. Because perhaps a gali is an expression of one's anger, but it is also an expression of one's deep hidden expectations and love. So, the first expression of love was Narmanga Gali. Gali, which is the most important part of a loving relationship. Udaka Kshipa Yantra. Udaka Kshipa Yantra. Yantra is machine for spraying water. What is it called? Pichkari, that is Hindi term. Water gun. So, Yantra Yukti, water guns were ready. Dandi Prapatana, sticks were there for threatening each other. And making the other party fall down on the ground in the mud by using sticks. Keli Riti. In this way there was play. Kanta Kriti Vyatikrita Grahanam. And making each other fall down and pulling each other, dragging each other into the mud. And once a year such an exercise is necessary for relieving all the pent-up anger that one has against the other party. Sahayakam Yudhi Bhavav. Yudhi, it was war. And all these were the instruments of war. Hari Hori Kaya. This was Sri Krishna's Holi, dear devotees. Here is the translation.
During holy celebrations,
Gali, giving loving abusive words, which are a very important part of a loving relationship. Besides Gali, there was profuse use of water spraying guns, etc., making others fall down by using sticks, attacks and counterattacks by the gopis and Krishna.
And no loving relationship can survive without quarrels. Quarrels are the most important part of a loving relationship. The most important part of a loving relationship. Please tell me, what is the most important part? Quarrels. Dear devotees, the opposite of love is not hatred, The opposite of love is indifference. It's very important to understand. The opposite of love is not hatred. The opposite of love is indifference. And so, any quarrels are also an indication that the person has hopes and expectations and love towards us. And there's a wonderful verse. And this verse is not from Padyavali or from the Gaudiya Vaishnava previous acharyas. Sri Rupa Goswami has composed a similar verse, but I found this verse to be a much more developed version of what Sri Rupa Goswami had written. This verse is from the Subhashitavali of Vallabh Dev. It's such a wonderful verse which describes the entire cycle of Prema, the entire cycle of love. An ocean is contained within this one single verse. And those who understand this one verse understand how love works in the spiritual world and also how its perverted reflection works here in the material world. I'll specify this verse. This is from the Subhashitavali of Vallabh Dev. This verse is in the meter Harini, a very sweet meter. I'll sing this verse. I'll first divide the first line into 3 parts and then I'll sing the entire line. Alright? Please sing after me. Samajaninata Prema Tyaktam Yadishadabirshaya Samajaninata Prema Tyaktam Yadishadabirshaya Smara Sukha Sagi Nasa Virsha Vina Kalahenaya Nakalu Kalaha Sonyonyam Yat Prasadana Varjita Prasadana Vide Nasau Yunam Nayena Vililyire. This is Harini, very sweet meter, dear devotees. So, Sri Vallabhdev says, Samajani natat prema. And please repeat after me. That love is not love which is devoid of even a slight trace of jealousy. Samajani natat prema tyaktam yad ishad api irshaya. Jealousy here means a sense of possessiveness, that you are mine and you better behave in the way I ask you to behave. Else you don't want to see what happens. So that love is not love which is devoid of even a slight trace of jealousy. Jealousy here means possessiveness. The next line says, Smara sukha sakhi nasa virsha vina kalahenaya. Please repeat after me. Jealousy too is not jealousy if it is devoid of a loving quarrel. So jealousy manifests, possessiveness has to manifest in the form of quarrel. Without quarrel, there is no possessiveness. And without possessiveness, there is no love. Alright, next. See, what is the last term of the second line? Quarrel. Let's take that term. Please repeat. Quarrel is not truly quarrel if it is devoid of the act of appeasement of the beloved. So at the end of the quarrel, there should be something. And what should there be? One of the person has to come and say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It will not happen again next time. In the material world, sometimes there is no appeasement. Nobody appeases because they are too egoistic to apologize to each other. So it continues for months. But this is not the case with spiritual world. If they truly love each other, both of them will be eager to appease each other. And finally, see what is the last term here is appeasement. And please repeat. And appeasement is not really appeasement if lovers do not merge their limbs in a loving embrace. This, dear devotees, is the entire cycle of Prema. And this continues eternally in the spiritual world with Sri Radha Krishna. So jhagda, lot of quarrel has to take place. However, dear devotees, this quarrel went on till the age of 11, when Sri Krishna was here in Vraja. And at the age of 11, there was one particular person who arrived in Vraja and who spoiled everything. Yeah. This is the only person in Srimad Bhagavatam who is named the exact opposite of his nature. All others are named properly except for this person. And when Akrura arrived in Sri Vrindavan, he was rolling in the dust of Sri Vrindavan, and he got up. And then Akrura ended up saying something. And please repeat after me what Akrura said. Today, I am most fortunate. And then the devotee commentator Sri Harisuri says, he doesn't say I am fortunate. He doesn't say I am more fortunate. He says today I am most fortunate. And he gives a very wonderful reason behind Akrura feeling most fortunate on that particular day. And here is Akrura in the forest of Sri Vrindavan saying that I am most fortunate. Sri Harisuri explains with a wonderful verse. This verse is in the meter Shikharini, same as Jagannath Ashtakam, slightly difficult to sing meter. I'll sing, please repeat after me. Nadadrik bhubhago ya hari pada abjarahito Natadrik vavraksho hari karam mridusparsha vikala Navadadrik jantur harisadaya viksha virahita Tade desham bhagyam yugapadupalabdham kathamaho. So, Sri Akrura is saying, please hear carefully, dear devotees. Na tadrik bhubhago, na tadrik bhubhago. He says in this entirety of Vrajamandal, there is not even a single inch of land. Ya iha hari padabja rahito. Is there any inch of land in Vrindavan which is devoid of the touch of Hari's feet? Please tell me, yes or no? No. Each and every inch here has been touched by the lotus feet of Sri Hari. So dear devotees, please tell me, in yes or no, didn't the land of Sri Vrindavan get the remnants of Sri Hari? Yes or no? Yes. It got the remnants of Sri Hari. And in this land, dear devotees, trees are growing. So these trees are nurturing themselves upon the remnants of Hari. I hope you are able to understand. The trees got some prasad, and therefore they are growing on this prasad that they got from the bhumi, from the sand, from the land. And when the trees receive the prasad, the mercy of Bhagwan Hari, they also become overjoyed. And Natadrik vavriksho hari karamridusparsha vigala, and the trees also get something additional. What do they get? Not only do they get the touch of Hari's feet, they also get the touch of Hari's hands like this. While he is walking, he casually touches all the trees in Vrajamandal. And they become so happy that they give out their remnants in the form of fruits. So the fruits are the remnants of Hari. And the birds are eating the remnants of those remnants of Hari. The animals are eating the remnants of the remnants. Nadadrigva jantur, all the animals and birds eat. So they get the remnants of Hari. But they also get another additional flavor, an additional favor. Hari sadaya viksha virahitas. Krishna personally glances at each and every one of them within their eyes with a very merciful glance. Something which the trees don't get. So Krishna not only touches them with his feet, not only touches them with their hands, but also Krishna glances using his eyes. So they become so overjoyed that they give out their joy in the form of singing loudly. So the singing loudly of the birds and animals is the remnant of Hari. And today I, Akrura, I am hearing this singing of the birds and animals. So the trees are fortunate. The birds and animals are more fortunate. And I, Akrura, I am most fortunate. Because today, not only am I getting these sweet sounds to hear, today I will also get the touch of Hari's feet. Today I will meet Krishna. Krishna will put his foot on my head. Today Krishna will touch me using his hands, and today Krishna will also glance within my eyes. I see some of you are crying, dear devotees. When you cry, there is no wow, isn't it? Of course there is. As I said, in every rasa, there has to be something. Wow. But the wow is not right now. Maybe later when you reflect, you will say, wow, that was a nice verse. Sometimes the wow comes immediately. Sometimes the wow comes afterwards. Wow, that was a nice verse. Here is the translation. Kindly read.
Akrura's thoughts. There's not even a small portion of land here that remains untouched by Hari's lotus feet. Neither is there a single tree that has not experienced the
Joyous agitation of being touched by Hari's soft hands. Nor is there a single living entity here who has remained devoid of his merciful glance. How wonderful! How did it happen today, after millions of lifetimes, that I obtained the good fortune of all these entities at once? Certainly it is due to the culmination of my immense good fortune.
So he is not fortunate, he is not more fortunate, he is most fortunate. But the Vrajavasis are going to be most unfortunate at this point of time. Of course, his purpose was to act as a faithful messenger, charioteer of Kamsa, and to bring Sri Krishna back to Mathura. And for those who have given everything to Sri Krishna, for those who have done everything for the pleasure of Sri Krishna, for such Vrajavasis to be separated from Sri Krishna was the highest pain that they could have experienced ever. And this is not material pain, dear devotees. It is an expression of the highest bhakti rasa. When he was seated on the chariot and he lied through his teeth and he spoke the greatest lie in the universe. And what was that lie? I'll come back. And when he spoke that greatest lie, he knew that he'll not come back. But he's habituated to lying. He's habituated to lying. Dear devotees, from a Brahmana you can expect speaking the truth. But for somebody who is born in Vaishya Jati, Vaishya is merchant. They sustain their livelihood by speaking half truth, half lies. Go to any merchant and ask him what is the price of this particular thing. They will not tell you the true price. lying is rooted within this particular jati. Narad Muni says in the 7th canto, Satyanritabhyam. They live by speaking half truths, half lies. So he said, I'll come back. It was only half truth, because he'll send Uddhav as his messenger, but he'll not come personally. And so the gopis knew that he was lying, and they asked him something as he was departing on the chariot to go to Mathura. This verse is by Sri Jiva Goswami in the Gopal Champu. This verse is in one of the longest meters in Sanskrit poetry, Sragdhara. I'll try to sing it. Please repeat after me. Gachannesha tvamadya Spurasidayita bhokam sagatam vidhaya Svikartum rajatam ta Kathamatha bhavatadagatiste vrajaya Tasmadasmabhirarthyam Tadidamiha bhavamstatra nana viraja Tirthe sarvarthadena Smriti manudadatam anjalinam trayani. You might have heard this meter somewhere also. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Vaishnavanscha. So this is the meter, Sragdhara. Srag is garland, long garland, Sragdhara, a lady who wears a long garland. As I have said previously, most of the beauty in this world and in the spiritual world is invested in the feminine gender by Bhagavan. Shri Krishna may be most beautiful, but there is somebody whom Shri Krishna is also helplessly attracted to, and that entity is not in the masculine gender. That entity is in which gender? Feminine. So most of the beauty in this world is invested in the spiritual world, also is invested in the feminine gender. Most of the meter names are feminine. And the highest amount of love in the spiritual world is also shown by feminine entities, the gopis of Sri Vrindavan. As he is leaving, they say, Gachan esha tvamadya. You are going today. Spurasi dayita bhokam saghatam vidhaya. Dayita, O Lord of life, come saghatam vidhaya. Today you have a desire within your heart that you want to kill Kamsa. And you are saying to us, I'll come back. But don't lie to us, Krishna. You're a very terrible liar. Because we know why you are going. Svikartum rajatam tat. After Kamsa is killed, who will be the new king? Please tell me. Krishna. And has it ever happened, dear devotees, that after becoming a king, a person has returned back to cowherd life? Kathamatha bhavatad. How is it possible, Krishna? Agatiste vrajaya, that you will return to Vraja. Krishna, stop lying. We know you will never return back. Tasmat, therefore, at least do one thing. Asmabhiratyam, for us. We never asked you for any gift till now. Will you give us one gift, Krishna? At least this one gift you should give us. And what is that gift? When you go to Mathura, Tatra Nana Virajat Tirthe, there are many holy lakes and ponds there. And when you go there, go take a dip in those holy ponds and send us a gift of 3 palms of water. For those of us who don't understand, 3 palms of water are only given as oblations to those who are dead. So we couldn't get any gift from you in this life. At least we'll receive something in the afterlife from you.
O Lord of our lives.
Today, you're entertaining thoughts of accomplishing the death of Kamsa and accepting the monarchy of Mathura. How will your return to Vraja ever be possible? It's impossible. Therefore, kindly do one last thing for us. In the various desire-fulfilling holy rivers and lakes around the city of Mathura, please remember us and send us a gift of 3 palms of water.
Of course, he left on the chariot, and when he left on the chariot went in the far distance, and they were gazing at the chariot, and the flag on top of the chariot was going down. And they were hoping that he'll send them a gift of 3 palms of water. And they watched the chariot all the way till the flag goes down. And when the flag went down and they could no longer see the chariot, at that time Sri Radha collapsed on the ground. And this verse was uttered by her. This verse was later uttered by Sri Madhavendra Puri at the time of leaving his body. This verse is in the meter Viyogini. The meaning of Viyogini is a lady separated from her lover. Ai din dayadra nath hai, ai din dayadra nath hai, Mathura nath gadavalokya se, Mathura nath gadavalokya se, Hridayam vadaloka kataram, Hridayam vadaloka kataram, Daita brahmyati kim karomyaham, Daita brahmyati kim karomyaham. Now no worrying about parents or in-laws, she fell on the ground. She collapsed on the ground, and this was the verse uttered by her. Ai dina dayadra nath, dina daya ardra. You are ardra. Your heart is supposed to be moist because of daya, because of mercy on dina, those who are fallen. This is what we had heard about you. This was your reputation. Ai dina daya ardra. Your heart was moist due to mercy on the fallen ones. That is what we heard. Today we are truly fallen on the ground. We fell, we collapsed on the ground. Mathura Nath, O King of Mathura, Kada avalokya se, when will we see you again? Hridayam tvad aloka kataram. My heart is shattered by not seeing you. Daita, my love, Brahmyati, my mind is swooning. Kim karomyam, I don't know what to do now. I have absolutely no idea what to do with my life now. I'm okay, Krishna, if you love many women. That's all right. At least come back.
O my Lord, O merciful Master, O Master of Mathura, when shall I see you again? Because of not seeing you, my agitated heart has become unsteady. O most beloved one, what shall I do now?
Singing this verse, Sri Madhavendra Puri had given up his body. Dear devotees, the success of the presentation is not that I could make you laugh. To make the audience laugh is pretty easy. The success of the presentation is in making the audience cry. Because crying for Krishna is the success of the human form of life. And therefore, it is very important that we learn how to cry for Bhagavan. And if you could cry, even within your heart, if your heart moved in that direction, please know that Srila Rupa Goswami's presentation of the Padyavali was a success. After some time, Sri Radha got more agitated and spoke again. Dalati hridayam gadhodvegam dvidhanatu vidyate dalati hridayam gadhodvegam dvidhanatu vidyate dvidhanatu vidyate Vahadi vikala kayo murcham namunchati chetanam Vahati vikala kayo murcham namunchati chetanam Jwalayati tanu mantardah karodina bhasmasa Antardah karodina bhasmasa Praharadi vidir marma chedi nakrindati jivitam Marma chedi nakrindati jivitam Dalati hridayam guard udveg. This terrible anxiety, dalati, is hammering my heart again and again. Dvidhanatu vidyate. There's only one problem. It doesn't break my heart into two pieces. Because if my heart is broken into two pieces, I'll die and all my problems will be solved forever. Vahati vikalah kayo murcham. My body is fainting again and again. There's only one problem. Namunchati chetanam. It doesn't faint forever. Because if it faints forever, my problems will end. Jwalayati tanum antarda. I don't know what fire inside my body is burning me. But there's only one problem. Karoti na bhasmasat. It doesn't burn me externally. Because if it burns me externally, my problems will be over. Praharati vidhir. As if vidhi, fate itself, is wounding my soul today with a weapon. Nakrintati jivitam. The only problem is that it doesn't tear my soul apart. Let any one of these things happen today. Happy are those people who die out of separation. The worst life is that of a person who has to live in separation. And I don't want to be that one. I don't want to be that unfortunate Radha who kept waiting for him forever. Dear devotees, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna's name is mentioned thousands of times. And her name is not mentioned even once. Sri Shukadev Goswami indirectly mentions her, but there is no direct mention of her name. This cruel injustice with the person who loved Bhagavan the most is present right here in our society.
My trembling heart is torn, but will not break in two. My wretched body is stunned, but will not lose consciousness permanently. A fire burns in my body, but it does not turn to ash. Fate wounds my heart, but will not destroy my life.
Immediately, somebody asked her, should we send somebody to bring him back from Mathura? She said no. And later he also ended up going to Dwarka. He didn't come back. He ended up going to Dwarka. And people used to say, should we send somebody to bring him back? Her reply was always no. Don't send anybody to bring him back. It is he who has promised. So he has to come. A gentleman should at least live up to the words that he gave. And so at one point of time when somebody asked her again, she spoke the following. The verse is in the meter Mandakranta. Please sing after me. Syana saukhyam yadapi balavad goshtamapte mukunde.
Syana saukyam yadapi balavad goshtamapte mukunde.
Yadyalpapi kshadirudayate tasya magat kadapi.
Yadalpapi kshatirudayate tasya magat katapi.
Apraptesmin yadapi nagarad artirugra bhavenna.
Apraptesmin yadapi nagarad artirugra bhavenna.
Saukhyam tasya sphurati hridi chet tatra vasam karotu.
Saukhyam tasya sphurati hridi chet tatra vasam karotu.
Syanah saukhyam yadapi balavat. I understand we all will be tremendously happy. Saukhyam. Goshtham apte mukunde. If Mukunda returns back to Vrindavan, Vraja. But I say this, Sri Radha said, I say this. Yadi alpapi kshatirudayate. If his reputation will be harmed even a little bit, if his happiness will be harmed even a little bit by his coming back, ma agat kadapi, let him never come back. If there is even a little bit of trouble in his happy royal life, let him never come back. And I understand, apraptesmin yadapi nagarad arti rugra bhaven. If he never comes back, arti rugra, we will be in the most severe distress by not seeing him. But saukhyam tasya spurati hridi chet. But if he is happy by not coming back, tatra vasam karotu, let him stay there forever. Let him stay there forever. I do not want him to come back if it causes even a little bit of inconvenience to him, because he's Maharaj now. And we cowherds should not cause any amount of distress to Maharaj.
Even though it will be in our highest pleasure if Mukunda comes back to Braj, still, if it causes him even a little bit of discomfort, then let him never come here. And even though his not coming to Braj is the most severe distress to our lives, but if it makes him happy, let him stay here forever.
This, dear devotees, is Prema. And there can be no higher degree of Prema anywhere, in any worlds, like this. This Prema is never possible in this material world. It is only possible in the domain of the kingdom that Sri Rupa Goswami bought for us. If you are feeling distressed at heart, think of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Gambhira. And now you know what it is to suffer. And look within your heart and ask yourselves, is it material suffering or something else? If you are experiencing any suffering, ask your heart, is it material suffering or something else? Or is it the highest pleasure that can be had? Perhaps a few of you will be able to realize why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent the final years of his life in Gambhira, relishing not the mood of union, but the mood of separation. And of course, he also is not going to stay happy in Mathura. In love, both people suffer. But it is his mistake. It was his desire to go to Mathura. It was not the Vrajavasi's desire that he go to Mathura. It was his own desire. And therefore, we should clearly put the blame on that particular individual who caused all this suffering for the residents of Sri Vrindavan. And he exchanged it for a royal life. Everybody wants to move to the city, isn't it? Everybody wants a good life. And so he left Sri Vrindavan, not realizing that he'll never have to pick up the flute ever again. In Mathura, he started crying alone. The only person who noticed was Uddhav. And Uddhav was sent as a messenger. And how many times should Uddhav put his reputation at stake for this person? Once is okay. Even Uddhav won't put his reputation at stake for this person twice. His friend, his minister, refuses to put his reputation at stake. A question should be asked if in Mathura and Dwarka he has any well-wishers. Because in Vrindavan, if there is somebody crying, there are 10 people to console them. But in Mathura and Dwarka, when he cries, the big Maharaj cries alone. And please tell me, dear devotees, as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, shouldn't such a person have to cry? Yes or no? Don't be afraid. Say. Doesn't such a person deserve to cry? Our big problem, you could have cried, but you put all these wonderful Brajvasis in suffering. That is a bigger problem for us. You cry all you want in Dwarka, but you put Brajvasis in suffering, we are not able to see that. Decades passed, and after 4 decades, there was a solar eclipse in Kurukshetra. And in that solar eclipse, on the pretext of taking a bath, the solar eclipse, all the Yadus came to Kurukshetra. And when they came to Kurukshetra, on the same pretext, the Brajavasis also came there. And so after more than 40 years, of not seeing each other. The Vrajavasis and Krishna arrived at the same place. And of course, he was big Maharaj, so you have to take appointments to meet him. And of course, they were given a scheduled appointment time to meet Maharaj. And inside a tent, after more than 40 years, the Vrajavasis arrived inside that big tent, and the soldiers said, all of you stand in this one direction, sit here, Maharaj will come in some time, sit down. All the Vrajavasis sat down on the floor, and then the soldier announced that Maharaj is here. And after all these years, he entered into that tent, and the Vrajavasis looked at him after more than 4 decades. Sri Rupa Goswami says in Ujjwal Nilmani, the definition of Prem is Sarvatha Dhvamsa Rahitam Satyapi Dhvamsa Karane. Even if there are a million reasons for the relationship breaking, if it doesn't break, then you have Prema. And so any other ordinary relationship of the material world would have long ago broken if people were separated for 40 years, more than 40 years. But this was Sri Krishna's first love, and this was Sri Radha's first love. And therefore, this Prema continued as it is. And after 40 years, when he arrived, he went inside, and when he looked at Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, he cried out, and he embraced both of them. He met all the Gopas, his friends, everybody he met. His eyes are searching for that one set of eyes that he has not glanced in for more than 4 decades. Whose eyes are that, dear devotees? Srimati Radha. And he tries to find those eyes, but finally he notices that there is a married lady with her veil over her head. So on the pretext of telling everybody that it's nice to meet you, please have some food, you must be hungry, he sends everybody outside, but he indicates to the gopis to stay behind. And when everybody goes out, and only the gopis stay behind, Bhagavan comes in front of Sri Radha and falls at her feet. Sri Rupa Goswami records what he said in the Padyavali. The meter is Mandakranta. Please sing after me. Kim padante luthasi vimana swamino hi swatantra. Kim padante luthasi vimana swamino hi swatantra. Kanchit kalam kvachid abhiratas tatra kaste paradha. Kanchit kalam kvachid abhiratas tatra kaste paradha. Agaskaranyahamiha yaya jivitam tadviyoge. Bhartri prana striya iti nanu tvam mamaivanuneya. Kim padante luthasi vimana. Vimana, oh pagal, oh foolish person, why are you falling at my feet? Don't you know? Swami no hi swatantra. Kings are independent always in their decisions. Yeah, it's a fact. Kanchit kalam kvachid abhiratas. Some time back, many decades ago, you fell in love with us. But you are a king. And kings can fall in love with any number of ladies. Tatra kaste aparadha. There is no fault of yours. Agaskarini aham. Actually, I am the sinful one. Sri Radha says, I am the sinful one. Iha jivitam tvad viyoga. I stayed alive after being separated from you. I don't care if you loved me or not. It was a fact that I loved you. And I should have given up my life after you left. I knew my responsibilities. I should have died after you left. Bhartre pranastriya. It is said that the life of a lady is in her beloved. And my beloved, you went away, so my life should have gone away. But it didn't go away. Maybe there was a big fault in me because of which my life didn't go away. Kaste aprada. There's no aprad on your side, Maharaj. Don't fall at my feet.
Dear love, why do you fall at my feet? You should know that those who are great kings and masters are independent to do whatever they want. Accidentally, you happen to fall in love with me for some time. Where is your fault in that? It's actually me who is at fault. For I am still alive even after being separated from you. You are my love, and I should have died in your absence. But it seems I do not have that love. Please do not ask for forgiveness from me.
I'm nobody to forgive you. So please don't ask for forgiveness now. He noticed that she is not looking at him in the eye. And what went on in her mind at this point of time is recorded by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's favorite poet, Sri Chandidas. Sri Chandidas enters her mind and speaks what Sri Radha was thinking about at that point of time. Please sing after me. Bandhu ke yaar bole bo tore, apana khaya birde garenu, rahite narenu gare. Bandhu ki yaar boli botore. Friend, what should I say to you now after 4 decades? What should I say? Apana khaiya. I consumed myself, piriti karenu, by falling in love with you. That was my biggest mistake. I consumed myself by falling in love with you. Rahite narinu ghare. I lost everything. I lost everything. I don't even have the piety remaining to attain a good human life next time. Kamana kariya sagare mariva,
Kamane kariya sagare mariva,
sadiva mone rasada, Mareya eva nandara nandana, Mareya eva nandara nandana, Tomar kariv Radha. Kamana kari, I have only one desire now. Sagare mariba. I will die in the ocean with this one unfulfilled desire. And dear devotees, we have heard that anybody who dies with an unfulfilled desire gets it fulfilled in the next life. So I'll die with one unfulfilled desire. Sadhiba manera sadha. Through this desire, I will finally get what I want. And what is that desire? Mariya haiba nandana nandana. Next life, I'll become Nanda's son. Tomar kariba Radha. And you become Radha next time. Next time I'll appear in front of you as Nanda's son. Next time you will be Radha. Piride kariya chadiya jaiva, Rahiva Kadamba Dale Tribhanga Haya Murali Puriva Jagana Jai Bajale Piriti Kariya Chadiya Jaiba. Loving you as Krishna, I'll appear as flashes of Krishna in front of you and then I'll disappear. I'll show you next time. Rahiba Kadamba Tale. Then again I'll appear under a Kadamba tree. Tribhanga Haya Murali Puribo. Threefold form, I will appear in front of you as flashes of vision. I will be playing the flute. Jakhana Jaiba Jale. Whenever you go to the waters of the ocean, I will appear in front of you. Murali Suneya Murachaiba Saja Gulera Bala Chandidas Gaye Tabe Se Jani Bapiriti Ke Man Jwala Murali Suniya, next time when you hear my flute, you will fall unconscious. Sahaja Kulera Bala, next time you will be the innocent-minded girl, not me. Chandidas says, only then you will realize Piriti ke manujala, what it is to burn in love. Not otherwise. Dear devotees, did Sri Radha's words come true? Look there, dear devotees. Next time you will faint. Next time in the ocean you will drown. You will have the same desire that I am having this time. Next time you will fall unconscious. Chandidas appeared much before Mahaprabhu. And therefore he was Mahaprabhu's favorite poet. He predicted Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu much better than the Srimad Bhagavatam predicted. Dear devotees, I wish to leave you all at this point of time. It is said, Madhurena Samapayat. End nicely, isn't it? But I don't want to do that. Because when I end nicely, you'll all go happily and say it was a very nice lecture. We were all happy. So I'm sending you off with this. And carry this in your hearts. And know that the pleasure of crying for Krishna is more than the pleasure of seeing Krishna. Of course, that particular devotee, Sri Radha, who was not glorified so much, we should glorify her. And hence, here is one last verse, a newly composed verse, dear devotees, for glorifying Sri Radha. If I have the permission of all of you for one last time, dear devotees. The verse is in the meter Shardul Vikriditam. Let's sing together. Mridvi Halakaraj Dipti Jaika Sampushti Darshasya Sa Tasmai Rishta Sudhamritabdhi Janani Teshasya Sadam Shika Nitya Parshad Samstuta Vrajapate Satushti Samsadhika Karunyamritamátanotu nitara Saradhika Radhika. Please read.
She is soft-limbed, the conqueror of the beauty of the best of reddish lotus flowers, the bestower of spontaneous devotion on the devotee followers of the great souls, the producer of auspicious oceans of nectar for such devotees, the destroyer of the influence of Kali Yuga, eternally existing, comprehensively glorified by her associates, the complete arranger of the satisfaction of Rajapati, Krishna. May that worshipper of Krishna, Sri Radhika, expand the nectar of her mercy constantly.
Wait, dear devotees, wait. We'll plot the verse on a wheel. Dear devotees, let's take the first line. We'll plot from bottom left to top right. Please sing along with me. Mridvi hallaka dipti jaika sampushti darshasya sa. The second line we will plot from top left to bottom right. Tasmai rishta sudhamritabdhi janani deshyasya sadam shika. The third line we will plot from top to bottom. Nitya parshad samstuta vrajapate satushti samsadhika. It ends below at ka. We start here and go circle wise on the wheel. Karunyamritamatanoti nitaram saradhika radhika. Stop, dear devotees, there's something more. If you look at the third and the sixth letter from the circumference, you will notice that there is a message hidden. Parshadam Saradha Sampushyatu. May that same Sri Radha give nourishment to this fish. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. So it's 6:30. I think it's one minute. I'll pause here and we'll take question and answers tomorrow.
You say tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah. Because it's 6:30, I wish to stop in time. But thank you so much, dear devotees. Thank you, Maharaj, so much for...